The Second World War was the deadliest conflict in human history, claiming over 70 million lives. It began in 1939, but its roots lay in the aftermath of World War I. The Treaty of Versailles, economic despair, and the rise of aggressive ideologies set the stage for a global catastrophe. In Germany, Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party promised to restore national pride, while Italy and Japan sought their empires through conquest. The Axis powers were born, and the world was unprepared for the storm they would unleash. The Spark. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland using a new military tactic called Blitzkrieg, Lightning War. Britain and France declared war on Germany, but their support came too late for Poland. The war had begun. Historian Blitzkrieg was revolutionary, fast, devastating, and overwhelming. It left Europe scrambling to respond, and by 1940, much of the continent was under Nazi control. Britain stood alone after the fall of France. Despite relentless bombing during the Blitz, the British people under Winston Churchill's leadership refused to surrender. The global war expands. In Asia, Japan sought dominance, invading China in 1937. On December 7, 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, drawing the United States into the war. Suddenly, the conflict became truly global. December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The Axis powers seemed unstoppable. But in the harsh winter of 1942, the tide began to turn. Turning points. The Battle of Stalingrad was a decisive moment. After months of brutal fighting, the Soviet Union defeated Germany's Sixth Army. In North Africa, the Allies achieved victory at El Alamein, marking the beginning of Germany's retreat. In the Pacific, the United States launched a counteroffensive, halting Japan's advance and beginning the long, bloody process of reclaiming occupied territories. The Allied advance. On June 6, 1944, the Allies launched Operation Overlord, D-Day. It was the largest amphibious invasion in history, breaking Germany's hold on Western Europe. As Allied forces pushed westward, the Soviets advanced from the east. Along the way, they uncovered the full extent of the Holocaust, a genocide that claimed 6 million Jewish lives and millions of others. Adolf Hitler's darkest side during World War II was epitomized by his role in orchestrating the Holocaust, a systematic genocide that claimed the lives of 6 million Jews and millions of others, including Romani people, disabled individuals, political dissidents, and more. Driven by his obsession with racial purity, Hitler's policies led to unimaginable suffering in concentration and extermination camps like Auschwitz, where victims were subjected to gas chambers, forced labor, starvation, and brutal medical experiments. Hitler's aggressive militarism plunged the world into chaos, starting with the invasion of Poland in 1939. His expansionist ambitions brought devastation to Europe, with widespread destruction, mass civilian casualties, and the displacement of millions. The invasion of the Soviet Union, Operation Barbarossa, further exemplified his ruthlessness, resulting in the deaths of millions through warfare, starvation, and scorched earth policies. Hitler's propaganda machine brainwashed millions, silencing dissent and promoting hate. Millions were exploited as forced laborers under brutal conditions, and entire communities were eradicated. His policies of total war disregarded civilian lives, leaving entire cities in ruins. The end of the war. In May 1945, Germany surrendered. In the Pacific, the war ended after the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, bringing Japan to its knees. The war was over, But its scars remained. Nations were devastated, millions were displaced, and the world had changed forever. The legacy: from the ashes of World War II, a new world order emerged. The United Nations was established to prevent future wars, and former enemies became allies. Yet, the lessons of the war remain a solemn reminder of humanity's capacity for both destruction and resilience. In memory of the millions who lost their lives and the countless others who endured,